I do a charity show for the Motion Picture and Television Home every year, actually. And even though I've never worked with Adam in a movie, he's been so gracious and generous and directed the show for me on a few occasions. So I just fell in love with him on that. And also, he comes from my world, you know, that Hoofer kind of, you know, mentality. I love his work ethic. I love his enthusiasm, and his energy is contagious. And I just love his sick sense of humor, which is just sick and dark and absolutely horrible. So it was like, okay, tell me when to turn up. What do I do? And then, of course, once I was doing the movie, he's like, Adam, please, can you write another song in for me? Can I do some more? I don't want to go. I'm having too much fun here. Said, Danny, would you come and do a musical again? I went, with you? And he went, yeah. I said, yeah. And then he went, do you want to sing Hit Me With Your Best Shot? I went, yeah, sure. I love her, and I love Pat Benatar, and I love that song. And it's done in a certain way that's just kind of sick and wonderful. And when I read the script, I just fell in love with my character. And it was all a lot of fun, a lot of fun. I went in for a very limited time, actually. I was only on set for about a week and a half. And so everything was like really intense, much more intense than any regular movie. That's just the musical genre in general. But it was pretty intense, and I learned the choreography one day, and then within 2 days I was just doing it. But I love that dancer camaraderie. You work really hard. It's tough. At 1 o'clock in the morning, you think you can't possibly do it one more time with a different camera angle. I appreciated my Broadway months when you just, did it from beginning to end once, and that was it. But then I didn't have to dance in the little night music that I did on Broadway. So it was a challenge for me to get back in shape, because of course I hadn't really touched my toes since Chicago, lazy person that I am sometimes. So it was like thrown into the fire, but it was a great, cozy, warm fire. When you see the movie, you'll understand my character is the conservative, right-wing person in the movie, and so it was it was a statement what she wore. It was so bad what I put on for each costume fitting that it was brilliant. I mean, I can't believe that people used to walk around with quarterback shoulder pads like that, like linebackers. I think we even tapered them to make them smaller because they were so ridiculous. It looked like it was just for the movie. But these were real vintage Chanel, Escada, vintage. Well, vintage. Can we call the '80s vintage? I guess, of course, we can. Real outfits, and it was just, I don't know, the music was great in the '80s, I think. I'm not so sure about fashion and the hair. I had big hair, and that's the wonderful stripy blush. I'm glad we're not doing that anymore.